I have protected humanity 100 times. Now, I just want this shitty world to hurry up and be destroyed already. As the first awakened SSS-Rank ability user, I save cities from monster attacks time and time again, saving civilians. That idiot chairman took advantage of my absence and secretly released 2 monsters into the city. 50,000 people died that day. The crowds, driven mad with rage, accused me of failing my duty to protect the city. They said I have to take full responsibility for the dead. Now they have thrown me into this tribunal, not only to strip me of my abilities, but to suppress me for all eternity. I'm laying my cards on the table. The act is over. I'm done with the Esper Association. If those monsters come back to slaughter civilians, I won't care anymore. I'm just going to the beach for a vacation. 1 hour ago, at the trial scene in the Esper headquarters, seeing me suddenly burst into laughter, Chairman Qin Wangshao's face instantly darkened. He barked, "Li Zhao, what are you laughing at? Watch your current status." I just find this all very interesting. I never thought that one day I would actually be sitting in a tribunal, especially as a high-profile Esper criminal. Back then, to fight against the beast tides, I risked heavy injuries countless times to repel the invading hordes. Yet now, instead of dying in the jaws of a beast, I was sent here first, to this high-profile criminal tribunal. Faced with this mockery, Qin Wangshao's face turned ashen. "Li Zhao, I admit you've made significant contributions in the past. But let's keep things separate. This time, it ultimately comes down to your failure, which resulted in such massive casualties. So regardless of your status, you must be held accountable. Cooperate with us, and once your sentence is served, you will still be a member of our Esper Association. All the association's benefits will remain open to you as usual." As he finished speaking, Qin Wangshao waved his hand. Beside the trial platform, several Espers who had been standing by, holding Esper will rings in their hands, began walking toward me. This is made of a special metal discovered only after the arrival of the beasts. It was previously used to deal with Espers, high-profile criminals, or beasts. Now it's actually being placed on me. Many people in the tribunal, moved by Qin Wangshao's words, clapped their hands excitedly. "Well said. Lord Qin's words are truly fair. Look, after enjoying the association's benefits for so long, Li Zhao has probably long forgotten his original purpose." Listening to the chatter around me, I couldn't help but burst into laughter once more. I looked outside the tribunal, at those ordinary people holding up banners, then looked back at Qin Wangshao on the trial stand. I just wanted to say one thing. The title of Esper Association member is quite tempting. The only reason I joined the association back then was simply to fight the beasts more effectively. As for these so-called Esper benefits, can they even compare to the countless dangers I've faced over the past few years? Who needs them? Don't make it so complicated. Since you all want an account from me, how about this? From this day forward, I am resigning from the Esper Association. From now on, matters of the association, matters of the beast tides, I will have no part in them. In the next moment, Qin Wangshao's eyes widened, and he said sternly, "Li Zhao, do you realize what you are saying? Are you trying to threaten me by quitting the association? The association has more than one SSS-Rank user now. If you think this kind of behavior can actually threaten the association, I can only tell you one thing. You are dead wrong. I'll give you one chance to take it back. Accept your punishment quietly. And when the sentence is over, you will still be an association member and still enjoy all the association's benefits. Is this the real reason I'm being tried today?" When the beasts first arrived, I was the only SSS-Rank user in the entire world. It was I, by myself, who held off the fiercest period of the beast riots. Now that the association has cultivated 3 other SS-Rank users, is my usefulness finally at an end? I laughed, a cold and hollow sound. Hey, no thanks. The status of an association member and the benefits of an Esper. You should just give those to someone else. Do these so-called benefits even amount to 1% of the danger I've faced? I raised my hand and gave it a slight shake. Asterisk snap. Asterisk. The chains on the metal cage in front of me suddenly snapped apart. This cage was also made of a special anti-Esper metal. But facing an SSS-Rank Esper, completely sealing their abilities, would take quite some time. With my strength, breaking out by force wasn't difficult at all. Just as I was about to fly away, a cold voice rang out. Who gave you permission to leave? Even if you quit the Esper Association, do you really think this matter can just be wiped clean? The moment the voice trailed off, a terrifying surge of yellow energy suddenly descended around me, carrying a horrifying pressure. The level of this energy was at least S-Rank. But in the next instant, before I could even act, stop, an angry female voice rang out. Beside me, a girl no older than 20 appeared out of nowhere. She had a slender figure and an incredibly exquisite face. The girl waved her hand, and a pale blue energy, like seawater, surged forth. Its intensity was not at all weaker than that yellow energy. After the two energies collided, they both quickly dissipated. Yizu, what is the meaning of this? Are you actually trying to protect Li Zhao? A burly, rough-faced man glared with angry eyes, staring at me and the girl beside me. He was Qicheng, an SS-Rank user from the Esper Association. Hearing those words, a spark of anger appeared in Yizu's beautiful eyes. Enough! If Li Zhao hadn't held them back, our association would have been destroyed in the beast tides long ago. And yet, not only are you ungrateful to Li Zhao, you actually want to punish him severely for this. What do you know? Chairman Chen already said, business is business. If every Esper could just do whatever they wanted, simply because they had past achievements, then what would become of our duty to protect? The city against the beasts? Qicheng continued, exactly. Keep things separate. Li Zhao might have had significant achievements before, but this time is different. If it weren't for Li Zhao, we wouldn't have suffered such a catastrophic loss. Outside the tribunal, many people who heard Qicheng's words nodded their heads in agreement. I ignored the intense shouting of the surrounding crowd and looked at Yizu, who was standing beside me. I hadn't expected that this girl, whom I had saved on a whim and taught a few abilities to, would be the only one willing to speak up for me when I was being condemned by everyone. Feeling Yizu's concerned gaze, a bit of warmth finally flickered within my cold heart. I smiled slightly. Looking at Yizu, I said, actually, you don't need to get involved. If I want to leave, no one can stop me. Yizu shook her head. A determined look appeared on her delicate face. Back when the tide breached the city, if it weren't for you, I would have died long ago. If not for your guidance, I wouldn't have achieved what I have today. At a time like this, how could I just stand by and do nothing? She turned her head, and Yixu looked at Qicheng, the one who attacked me earlier. If you insist on keeping Li Zhao here today, then you'll have to step over my dead body first. Stop this nonsense, Yixu. Move aside.
Hearing this,
Qicheng's expression changed slightly. Obviously, he didn't expect that, at this critical moment, someone would actually step up to protect Li Zhao. And it's someone whose strength matches his own. An S-ranked Esper, with a high chance of breaking through to SS rank. Stellar Yixu, as an SS level candidate. Aren't you afraid your actions today will affect your future in the Esper Association? I don't care about my future in the association. I only know that back when the beast horde struck, it was Li Zhao who saved me. And thanks to Li Zhao's guidance, I was able to achieve everything I have today. Yixu said firmly. On his beautiful face, there was a look of undeniable resolve. Yixu's appearance made the atmosphere at the scene enter a standoff at this moment. On the judgment platform, Qin Wangshao's face looked rather grim as well. And, in the next moment, as if sensing something, Qin Wangshao's gaze looked towards the Esper Association's building. Immediately, Qin Wangshao's expression returned to calm. He looked at me, Li Zhao. I'll ask you one last time. Are you sure you want to leave the Esper Association? I'm sure. I nodded calmly, without the slightest emotional fluctuation. All right then, considering that in the past, you did make significant contributions to the Esper Association. Today's matter will be written off. But today, it's not that you're leaving the Esper Association on your own accord, but rather that you are being expelled from the roster by us. From now on, you are no longer allowed to act in the name of the Esper Association, much less use it for personal gain. Starting today, there will be no more ties between the Esper Association and Li Zhao. After saying this, Qin Wangshao looked at me with a rather pleased glance, as if as long as Li Zhao was officially expelled, it would be for his bad character and conduct, that the Esper Association would kick him out. That way, in the future, if Li Zhao dares to use the Esper Association's name for personal gain, the Esper Association wouldn't mind sending someone to deal with Li Zhao. By that time, no one would show any mercy to Li Zhao. But unfortunately, from me, he couldn't see a trace of anger or resentment. Only a calmness as peaceful as water. It's just an empty title. I never cared. After 5 years of battling mutant beasts, I'm exhausted too. Only I truly know just how terrifying those truly powerful mutant beasts in the beast tides are. Even for someone like me, an SS level Esper, every fight comes with tremendous risk. And in a beast horde, there's more than one such powerful mutant beast. Now that the Esper Association wants to cast me out and replace me with someone else, why not let them? Li Zhao, did you hear clearly what I just said? Qin Wangshao's voice sounded again. Qin Wangshao waved his hand, and Su Kong, who had been blocking me, finally stepped aside, standing to the side, watching me get ready to leave. In Dripping Blood's eyes was a hint of reluctance. I patted Yixu on the head. I'm leaving, so make sure you keep training hard and aim to break through to SS level as soon as possible. Of course, if you ever want to see me again, you can come find me. Yixu's once dull eyes lit up once more, and she nodded obediently. At this point, waves of Esper power spread out from me. My figure flickered slightly, and I disappeared from where I stood. As for outside the tribunal, though still cursing at me, I no longer cared. Ding, detected that the host has been diligent and finally let go of all burdens. The daily sign-in system is now bound. The host just needs to complete daily tasks each day to sign in and receive rewards. A sudden voice rang in my mind. This system couldn't have come at a better time. With the daily sign-in system having left the association, I'm completely unburdened now and have a brand new system bound. I have to say, this really is a double blessing. Today's daily task is issued. Host, please find a place where you can stay and rest. Task reward, Tier 8 Esper Enhancement Fruit by 9. Seeing the system reward, my eyes lit up immediately. The level I'm at right now is Tier 8, and across Blue Star, it's already extremely hard to find treasures that can actually boost me further. If I'd known the system was coming, I should have just left the Esper Association earlier. Why bother working so hard there, getting nothing for it? Finding a daily residence isn't hard at all. With my strength as an 8th tier SSS-Spur, I have the means to go anywhere. Thinking of this, my will stirred slightly, and I vanished in a flash. In just a moment, I'd already left the range of New City, arriving at the very outskirts of all the cities. Beyond this, there was hardly any trace left of human civilization. Instead, more and more, giant trees that had also mutated after the awakening of powers. Some of the weaker, terrifying mutant beasts searching for food weren't interested in me, and I vanished from the city's outermost edge. What no one knew was, the moment I left, 100 miles away at the city's edge, where there used to be another large city, now all that remains are ruins, turned into a gathering place for countless mutant beasts. Countless mutated plants started to grow from the ruins, and endless terrifying mutant beasts dwell here. It was right at this time. At the very center of this beast horde, a gigantic white-winged tiger, standing 100 yards tall, with an imposing and mutated stature, suddenly opened its fierce eyes and let out a low growl, causing countless mutant beasts nearby to cower in terror. If an Esper were present, they would definitely sense its terror. It is at least a powerful beast that can match an SSS-level Esper. But at this moment, a hint of suspicion flashed across the fierce eyes of this white-winged tiger. With such a powerful human now leaving their city, aren't they afraid we'll seize this opportunity for a massive attack? Right at that moment, the whole ground started to shake violently, like a huge earthquake, and all the mutant beasts around trembled on the ground, shaking in terror. On a distant overlapping mountain range, a giant python over 100 meters long, its entire body covered in pitch-black scales, those scales shining with an unusual black luster, coiled and winding at the mountain peak, emitted An aura no weaker than the white-winged tiger's exceptional might. It was also an SSS-level beast king. You sensed it too? The white-winged tiger's voice suddenly sounded. Yeah, that guy Li Xiao really did leave that human city cluster. Even if he only let his presence slip for a moment. There's no way I could be wrong. The black python's chilling voice echoed. He stopped us for so many years. Is he finally losing his patience? Wanting to set a trap for us with some trickery and lure us in? Aside from that, we SS-level beast kings cannot think of any other reason for Li Zhao's sudden departure. Back then, if it weren't for Li Zhao standing guard at the city's edge without rest. With the combined might of multiple beast kings, we could have torn through the edge of the human city and charged in all at once. Suddenly, the white-winged tiger's fierce eyes flashed slightly, as if something came to mind. That's right. Earlier, I sensed that within that human city, several SS-level espers seemed to have appeared. Could it be that guy Li Zhao is hoping we'll attack now, so he can ambush us from the rear and wipe us out in one strike? Impossible. Those who just became SS level, if they dare to face us head-on, I alone could easily kill them all. To truly attack from both sides, what you need is enough power on both fronts, rather than being crushed one-sidedly. If that's really Li Zhao's plan, if that's really what he's thinking, then even if he kills a few beasts from behind during the battle, it would change nothing. Because on the main front, there's no one among those beast kings who can withstand us. Either way, better safe than sorry. But since Li Zhao has given us this opening, we shouldn't waste it either. Muster the beast horde and probe them first. On the other side, at the headquarters of the new Metacity Ability Association, Qin Wangshao's expression was somewhat grim. He slammed the conference table in anger. Li Zhao actually had the nerve to quit the association. Doesn't he realize the only reason he had such high status was because our association supported him? Inside the conference room, besides Qin Wangshao, there were 3 other people. Among those 3, one young man was playing with blue flames and spoke indifferently. It's just another SS level. Without Li Zhao, we're still here. If he wants to leave, then let him leave. Li Zhao left. But it won't stop our ability association from running.
Hearing this,
Qin Wangshao's face looked a little better. That makes sense. It's not 5 years ago anymore. Without Li Zhao, the association still has 3 other SS levels. You're right. Back then, Li Zhao alone could easily hold off those SS-level beast kings.
now the association
has all 3 of you as SS-level espers. So dealing with a beast horde will be even easier than before. Hearing what Chen Wangshao said, the 3, led by Ying Zhuan, all curved their lips in confidence and laughed, naturally, with the 3 of us SSS-level espers joining forces. Not to mention those beast kings haven't shown up in ages. Even if they appear again, those beast kings will just end up as corpses at our feet. Maybe we could even demonstrate killing a beast king, with everyone watching. The people in the meeting room started laughing. On the other side, countless mutated plants 10s or even hundreds of meters tall nearly blocked out the sky. In the dense forest, roar. A low growl suddenly echoed near my ear. A giant Regigrave, about 20 meters in size, with fangs jutting from its mouth, burst out of the woods, lunging forward with both front paws at me, its claws glinting with an icy light. As this giant gray Wolf launched its assault, with no time to react. Even a Regi-level Esper could be instantly killed. In just a flash, the giant gray Wolf's claws were only inches away from my head. But right at that moment, the attacking Wolf seemed to sense something truly terrifying. It suddenly froze in place. So weak, yet you dared attack me. How did you even get the guts? At my words, the Wolf's huge eyes flashed with instinctive terror. In its howl, there was an unspeakable fear, and in the next instant, without any warning, all fear in the Wolf's gaze solidified on its face. Every sign of life on the Wolf suddenly vanished. At the same time, in a nearby thicket, several figures hid among the trees. They all looked toward my location, and a gray Wolf died like that, without a hint of resistance. Could this person be an S-level Esper, or perhaps a humanoid mutant beast? Just then, the group suddenly gasped. Having realized, I was looking straight in their direction. Come out and speak, I said, raising one hand and grabbing toward that dense thicket. A moment later, the entire stretch of tall forest came crashing down. Those people felt the world spinning, and when their vision finally cleared up, I was already there. And as things became clear again, I had already appeared before them. Are you even human or a mutant beast? The disguised leader stared at me, their eyes filled with fear. They wanted to run, but discovered their own bodies were frozen in place under some overwhelming force. They couldn't move at all. I eyed the group before me, a trace of confusion in my gaze. The city under the Ability Association's protection is at least 100 miles from here. With your strength, how did you manage to get past the beast and reach this place? I looked at the group before me and asked aloud, we're not from a city under the Ability Association's control. We come from Qicheng. One of them swallowed nervously as they looked at me and stammered out the answer. They fell silent again, watching me with extreme caution. With such skill, even those who protect Qicheng, the only SS-level Esper, couldn't do it either. This powerful, unfamiliar Esper before me likely possesses at least 70% of their strength. Of that SS-level Guardian Esper, isn't from a city governed by the Esper Association. When I heard the answers from the people before me, in my eyes, I couldn't help but show a hint of surprise. But soon, I seemed to have thought of something. Besides the majority of cities that have already been integrated by the Esper Association, there are still a few cities, for various reasons, with quite a few residents unwilling to leave. So those cities haven't been merged together by the Esper Association, are not under its jurisdiction, and exist independently. Could it be that the Qicheng they're mentioning is one of those? Sir, my name is Su Ming. Earlier, I heard you mention the Esper Association. Are you also a member of the Esper Association? As I was guessing the origins of these people, they were doing the same about me. One Esper named Su Ming looked at Li Zhao and asked cautiously, he is the strongest one in this group and happens to be an 11 Esper. Esper Association? I used to be, but not anymore. Hearing Su Ming's question, I smiled and shook my head, hinting to the host. Daily quest time remaining has dropped to only 12 hours today. Host, please finish the quest and check in soon. Suddenly, the system's voice sounded. Seeing this scene, my eyes flickered slightly. Previously, I was looking for a place to stay. But now that Qicheng isn't under the Esper Association, it happens to fit my requirements perfectly. After all, if you can live in a city, who would want to stay deep in the mountains and forests? The Qicheng you're talking about, how far is it from here? I suddenly asked. About 10 kilometers. Not too far, because I'm also an Esper, Su Ming answered honestly. 10 kilometers, huh? That really isn't far. Then he immediately showed his desire to go to Qicheng and stay for a while. Hearing Li Zhao's words, Su Ming and his group were stunned for a moment. Then, all their eyes showed excitement. Are you serious? Su Ming took a deep breath. Afraid I was joking with him. Do I look like I'm joking? I replied calmly. All right, then let's head back. Su Ming got excited all of a sudden. I know a safe route. Sir, follow us. As Su Ming spoke, he glanced towards the direction of Qicheng, intending to lead me around the monster's back. Upon hearing this, I looked at Su Ming in surprise. Detour? You're telling me to take a detour in front of an SS-level Esper to avoid the monsters? Even the Beast Kings don't dare ask Li Zhao to take a detour, right? There's no need. Just give me a straight direction to ride, and I'll take you all back directly. Su Ming paused for a moment when he heard this. He seemed a bit confused by Li Zhao's simple words about their true meaning, but still pointed in a direction and said, Sir, the direction is north. Not long outside Qicheng's city walls, an overwhelming, terrifying Esper pressure suddenly descended. Up in the distant sky, you could see a black dot getting bigger, approaching Qicheng at an unimaginable speed. The Espers guarding the city walls all showed panic. An unprecedentedly powerful Esper aura beast king. But soon, the panic in their eyes faded, because just then, a figure suddenly appeared atop the city wall. Lord Chenzhuan. When Chenzhuan appeared, the Espers on the wall instantly seemed to have a backbone. Don't be nervous. Changjuan comforted them. The surrounding espers all looked solemnly toward the distant black dot. Soon the enlarging black dot far away became clearer and clearer, but everyone suddenly realized that the black dot wasn't a monster, but seemed more like a human, and that person was holding several figures. "It's Qicheng and his group," someone shouted, as if they recognized something. In the next moment, the figure holding Qicheng and the others arrived atop the city wall at an incredibly unbelievable speed. "This is Qicheng." I set Qicheng and the others down, while at this moment Qicheng and his group looked a bit pale. Believe it or not, he was just an A-level esper, but looks like he got airsick from my speed. After only a short time, we returned to Qicheng. Qicheng felt as if everything was a dream. He finally understood why I had him point out a straight direction earlier. That's enough. Espers like them, even a level, still need to avoid monsters. But remembering those along the way who tried to hunt me and got blown away by me. "Qicheng, how did you get back?" "Who is he on the city wall?" The patrolling espers headed towards Qicheng, looking at me, the stranger, with some caution. But only one person at the moment. When he saw me, his eyes were instantly filled with disbelief. That person was Changjuan. "You are Lord Li Zhao." Changjuan looked at me in disbelief and said, "Although it's now extremely difficult for cities to communicate long distance, and even communication tools between cities have become strategic resources." Changjuan, as Qicheng's strongest guardian, had seen my video recordings before. Those espers who were watching me cautiously, when they saw Changjuan's reaction, also paused. "Li Zhao, which Li?" Suddenly, everyone's eyes widened, especially Qicheng and his group beside me, when they heard Changjuan say Li Zhao's name. Qicheng and the others felt their brains freeze up. Li Zhao might be a common name, but coming from Qicheng's strongest, S-level esper Changjuan, with Lord added to Li Zhao's name, then, in this world, there's only one person worthy of that title. Holy shit, Li Zhao. It's Lord Li Zhao. On the city wall, countless shocked gazes all fell on me, like a dream. The countless espers of Qicheng once fantasized that I could come to Qicheng.
And now?
That unrealistic fantasy has actually come true. You know me?
Hearing Changjuan call out my name immediately,
I couldn't help but show a hint of surprise. Upon hearing this, Changjuan nodded, somewhat excitedly, and said, "Earlier, when exchanging beast-tide information with the Esper Association, I saw your video." "All right, Lord Li Zhao. What brings you to Qicheng today? Is there anything the espers of Qicheng can help with?" Changjuan suddenly asked. The nearby patrolling espers who heard this immediately became serious. "Just a word from you, and they would follow to their deaths with resolve." For the past 5 years, almost every day in Qicheng, there has been an attack from beast tides of varying size. After each repelled wave, the espers of Qicheng understand even more how precious someone like Li Zhao SS level esper truly is. The rarity of SS level ability user like Li Zhao. Although Li Zhao isn't an ability user of Qicheng, the faith accumulated little by little is not much less than what they have for Changjuan. Lord Changjuan. Lord Li Zhao isn't here in Qicheng on business. He plans to live here in Qicheng for a long time. Qicheng spoke up from the side.
he hurriedly said.
"What do you mean by for a long time?" "Long-term residence in Qicheng." Just as Qicheng finished speaking, including Changjuan, everyone's pupils widened in shock. Their bodies all stood up excitedly, unable to contain themselves. Right after getting excited, everyone's blood rushed up instantly. Their faces turned bright red. Li Zhao, the only SS level ability user in the world, plans to stay in Qicheng for a long time. Is this a dream? Is it real? No, it doesn't feel like a dream. It's actually true. Why the hell did you hit me? Hit yourself. Wait, Lord Li Zhao. You want to stay long-term in Qicheng. Will the Ability Association allow it? Amidst his excitement, Changjuan gradually regained his composure. He looked at me and couldn't help but ask about the Ability Association. After hearing that, the smile on my face slowly faded. I shook my head slowly. I'm no longer a member of the Ability Association. Not a member of the Ability Association. When Jean seemed confused by what I meant, I didn't hide anything about it. He spoke calmly. He said the Ability Association has already kicked me out of their roster. Meanwhile, at the base of the crumbling city wall, from inside Qicheng, an ability user was rushing anxiously toward the wall. He was holding a printed announcement. He looked very anxious. Lord Chunjuan, I just received a message from the Ability Association. The message said, the Ability Association has officially removed Lord Li Zhao from the list of members. What the hell is the Ability Association doing? They actually kicked Lord Li Zhao out. If it weren't for Lord Li Zhao's help back then, the Ability Association would probably be just like us in Qicheng now, still struggling desperately with their problems.
Exactly.
The Ability Association has probably trained a new SS level ability user. And now they're burning bridges with Lord Li Zhao. From that announcement released by the Ability Association, after seeing the whole story, Chen Zhuan and everyone else couldn't hold back their righteous indignation. Everyone stood up for me, especially Shen Zhuan. Imagine, after guarding Qicheng for so long, if one day a new SS level user appeared and wanted to join forces with other ability users to kick him out, he'd probably go crazy too. But looking at me in front of him, he was strangely calm. Chen Zhuan asked Lord Li Zhao, "Aren't you angry?" I looked at the indignant crowd and just felt it was a bit ironic, having guarded the city for 5 whole years and ended up being the target of so much criticism. On the contrary, those who never benefited from me, the people I've protected, are the ones standing up for me. I shook my head slightly. From now on, I just want no more connection with the Ability Association. All I want now is to find a place to settle down and stay for a long time. Just want a place to settle down. Stay for a while? I get it. Chen Zhuan nodded slightly. He understood in his heart.
He said seriously, Lord Li Zhao.
It doesn't matter how long you want to stay in Qicheng in the future. Qicheng will be your new home from now on. That's right, Lord Li Zhao. We're nothing like the people in the Ability Association. We don't burn bridges after crossing them. Qicheng and the others nodded as well. Xuanji looked at Li Zhao with admiration. Thanks! I nodded, expressed my gratitude. After discussing the plan for long-term residence in Qicheng, the group didn't linger any longer on the city wall. At my request, Qicheng arranged a rather secluded courtyard. Ding! Daily task completed. You have received an 8th stage ability enhancement fruit. New task unlocked. Please host, clean up the courtyard manually without using abilities. Under those conditions,
Task reward will be mutated tree sapling.
3 random ability-enhancing vegetable seeds. Looking at the sudden daily task, I couldn't help but smile. These daily system tasks really are pretty daily. The sky turned dark. Night fell at Chen Zhuan's residence. Qicheng, Lord Li Zhao is our greatest hope in Qicheng. I hope you can look after him in the days ahead. Meet all his needs. Can you do that? Upon hearing this, Qicheng also nodded solemnly. Lord Chen Zhuan, rest assured no matter what, even if I die, I'll find a way to do everything I can to fulfill all of Lord Li Zhao's requests. In these 5 years fighting against mutant beasts, they know well how much a top ability user means to a city. As long as Li Zhao stays in Qicheng, even if they had to die right away, Qicheng would follow through without hesitation. The Ability Association foolishly burns bridges, forcing Li Zhao away. But they're not stupid. On the other side, the darkness was descending. The bright moon hung high, 100 miles from Qicheng, at the Ability Association. A mutant beast gathering sight. A white-winged tiger stood under the moonlight. Beside the white-winged tiger, a 100-foot-long black serpent coiled. At this moment, in front of them, countless, terrifying mutant beasts of every size gathered. If someone were to look toward this beast horde, they'd only see a dense mass of black. The whole beast horde was pitch black. You couldn't see the end at a glance. Deafening, terrifying roars erupted from the beast horde. Within the roars, you could clearly sense, among them are not just level, but even S-level powerful beasts. Nobody knows if the numbers gathered this time are enough. But regardless, all I know is we have to seize this opportunity.
Even if that human named Li Zhao set a trap for them?
They still have to take this chance. Otherwise, as more and more powerful ability users appear among humans, it'll only get harder for them to destroy the ability association. It will become increasingly difficult. The white-winged tiger let out another wild laugh. The next moment, its massive 100-foot body leaped up agilely. The black serpent also coiled up into the air, came to the leading front of the beast horde, and charged forward. Their unified destination this time is the new city where the ability association is located. No sleep tonight. Countless mutant beasts rioted at this moment. One ruined small city after another, just like Qicheng. All the ability users were awakened from their dreams. At this moment, I was by the city wall as well. What's wrong? Is there a new beast horde? My voice suddenly sounded from the side, pulling Zhang Zhuan back to his senses from his thoughts. Hearing Li Zhao ask, Zhang Zhuan nodded, then shook his head. It's a beast tide. But this time, the main target of the beast tide isn't Qicheng oranges. Qicheng, like most small cities, only encountered scattered beasts. This time, the main target of the tide seems to be Qicheng. Qicheng, huh? Got it. Upon hearing Zhang Zhuan's words, I simply nodded slightly, without any change in expression. Qicheng, or the ability association, has nothing to do with me anymore. Meanwhile, in the distance, some scattered beasts are heading towards Qicheng. They're getting closer and closer to Qicheng. Zhang Zhuan refocused his attention and started getting ready to assign ability users to join him in repelling those beasts. But this time, before Zhang Zhuan could act, a surge of abilities far stronger than Zhang Zhuan's suddenly appeared, spreading out, instantly enveloping Qicheng. A kilometer outside Qicheng's city wall, those beasts heading towards Qicheng, regardless of their strength, their bodies, were frozen in place under my terrifying pressure of abilities. All locked still right at that spot. With no warning, the beast's bodies exploded, leaving not a single corpse behind. Zhang Zhuan watched all this, his eyelids twitching nonstop. On top of the city wall, those ability riders who originally set out to fight beasts were stunned right where they stood. Some were even halfway over the wall, suspended in midair. For the moment, not only, they wondered if they should go out. They wondered, do we even need to leave the city? What the heck, we didn't even do anything. And all the beasts are already dead. Was it Lord Zhang Zhuan? When did Lord Zhang Zhuan become so powerful? With a kilometer of distance, he can kill all the beasts from afar. Many ability users on the wall snapped out of it, their tone filled with admiration. Geez, Zhang Zhuan's face flushed a bit. He coughed a few times. If he really was that awesome, would he still have to defend every day in such a messy state? Qicheng would have already cleared out all the beasts nearby. They'd have wiped them clean ages ago. Stop talking nonsense. This wasn't Lord Zhang Zhuan. It was Lord Li Zhao. Li who? Lord Li Zhao. Is it that Lord Li Zhao? He came to Qicheng. Is it real? Are we dreaming right now? Turns out Lord Li Zhao came to Qicheng. No wonder he could kill so many beasts from 1,000 miles away. With Lord Li Zhao here in Qicheng, we won't have to worry about dangers ever again. The many ability users summoned from inside the city all showed surprise and delight on their faces. Suddenly, my gaze sharpened. 2 beast kings were actually hidden within the beast tide, heading towards Qicheng. Are they up to something? I couldn't help but wonder. Heading there, what are they thinking? My mind started guessing secretly, but soon, I snapped myself out of those thoughts. As for Qicheng, it has long since had nothing to do with me. If there's anything in Qicheng, the only person I still care about is Yizu. She was the only girl willing to stand by my side when everyone else was pointing fingers at me. Now I've settled in Qicheng, so maybe I can tell Yizu. That way, if she ever wants to find me, she won't have trouble tracking me down. I looked at Zhang Zhuan next to me and made this request. Zhang Zhuan is the guardian of Qicheng, so contacting other cities isn't hard. After hearing my request, he didn't hesitate at all. He immediately nodded and said, Lord Li Zhao, don't worry, I'll send the news to Qicheng right away. It shouldn't take long. And this ability user called Yizu that you mentioned should soon know that you're in Qicheng. Thanks a lot. I nodded, expressed my gratitude. Meanwhile, on the other side, President Bad News. This is serious. Qin Wan, Zhao Yingshuan, and 3 other SSS class ability users were sitting in the conference room. Man Zhao frowned slightly. What's wrong? Take your time. Upon hearing this, the association staff took a deep breath, then quickly said, President, we just received information. A massive beast tide is headed towards Qicheng. That's at least 10,000 beasts. After he finished, the staff's face showed a trace of nervousness. 10,000 beasts. Such a massive beast tide is extremely rare in recent years. 10,000.
Hearing this,
Qin Wanzhao and the others' expressions changed noticeably. Among the beast tide, any info on the number of high-level beasts? According to the report, inside this beast tide, as for SSS class beast kings, none have been detected yet. There are at least 10 SS level beasts, 30 S levels, and so many below S level. They're impossible to count. The association staff quickly replied, his face still full of anxiety. But this time, after hearing that, Qin Wanzhao and the others' expressions actually relaxed all of a sudden. No SS class beast kings detected. If there actually were beast kings among this 10,000 strong tide, they'd need to seriously consider how to respond. But since there are none, that changes things. No SS class beast kings in this tide. So it's different. Every level up between ability users means a tenfold or greater gap in power. 10,000 beasts look scary in a tide. But actually, with Yingxuan and the other 3 SS class ability users, just the 3 of them can block most of the tide easily. As for the rest, their association has no shortage of S-level and S-level ability users. They have plenty. It won't be hard to push back this beast tide. Why panic? It's just a tide. You don't actually think our 3 SS class are just decorations, do you? Do you, Xuan? Looked calmly at the Ability Association staff reporting the news, and said, hearing that, the staff's nervous mood relaxed as well. True. Even if Li Zhao was kicked out of the Ability Association, their association still has multiple SS class users. A full 3 of them. Pushing back this beast tide should be easy. This time's just right. After they announced booting Li Zhao from the Ability Association, some people from smaller cities criticized and questioned them, thinking they were burning bridges. But with this beast tide, they plan to let every small city know. Their association, even without Li Zhao, can still fight beasts with ease. This beast tide, not only do we have to push it back, we'll publicly broadcast the whole battle live. With that in mind, Xing Wanzhao stood up from the conference table. Qin Wangshao suddenly stood up from the meeting table. He started using this live stream as an opportunity to fight against the beast tide. They want to tell everyone that the Ability Association will be able to handle beast tides even better without Li Zhao. It will be easier than before to confront the beast tide. Upon hearing this, the eyes of Yingxuan and the other 2 were filled with excitement. A look of anticipation appeared as well. They understood Qin Wangshao's intention. Rest assured this time, the 3 of us will absolutely overwhelm the beast tide on the battlefield. We'll give a satisfying answer to everyone. With your words, I feel confident now. Qin Wangshao couldn't help but laugh heartily. In Qin Wangshao's view, although Yingxuan and the others had just become SSS-level abilities, their individual strength might be slightly weaker than Li Zhao. But being SS level, after all, the gap in power is limited. The advantage of the 3 over Li Zhao in numbers is more than enough to make up the difference. By the way, do we know when the beast tide will reach New City? As if remembering something, Qin Wangshao asked. Based on the beast tide speed, it should arrive at New City in about half a day. Half a day? That's plenty of time for us to prepare. Qin Wangshao nodded. By the way, President, there's another matter. The most important news about the beast tide has already been reported. That staff member of the Ability Association finally relaxed at that moment, thinking of something.
He said just now,
When we received beast tide alerts from other cities, our receiving equipment intercepted a message. It was a message from Chongzuan, the guardian of Qicheng Orange, sent to Miss Yuxu. It seemed to be related to Li Zhao. I'm not sure whether I should forward the message to Miss Yuxu. Chongzuan from Qicheng. After hearing this, Qin Wangshao frowned slightly. As far as he could recall, he didn't remember any connection between Yuxu and Chongzuan. What's the content of the message? That association staff member took a slip of paper out of his pocket. It had just been copied down. The contents recorded on it. Qin Wangshao took it and glanced at it. His gaze instantly turned cold. That guy Li Xiao has already left the ability association. And he's still trying to poach our members. But I didn't expect that Chen Zhuan from Qicheng would be with Li Xiao over at Qicheng Orange. That Chen Zhuan guy actually ended up with Li Xiao. On the slip of paper were the contents copied. It was the message Chen Zhuan sent to Yixu, informing her that Li Xiao is currently at Qicheng Orange. And if Yixu wants, she can go to Qicheng Orange to find Li Xiao na. President, after a harsh tearing sound, Qin Wangshao immediately ripped the slip of paper into pieces. He said coldly, just pretend it never happened.
Ignore it.
By the way, remember to notify the association's abilities that the beast tide is approaching. Have them get ready. The association's ability users will not let Li Xiao take members away so easily. Understood, President. All matters have been reported. That association staff member replied and left the conference room cautiously. Another major beast tide is coming? It seems the previous one was about a year ago. In order to deal with that beast tide, I heard the Ability Association suffered heavy losses. Why did the beast tide appear right after Li Xiao left? Was driving Li Xiao away earlier a bit too harsh? As news of the beast tide spread throughout New City, many residents started to panic. And because of the scale of this beast tide, some timid people were even starting to regret how quickly they drove Li Xiao away before. But soon, other voices rose up. What's bad about kicking Li Xiao out? He's someone totally irresponsible. Just an arrogant SSS level ability user. What's the big deal if he's gone? Without Li Xiao, New City still has 3 SSS level ability users. What's there to worry about? Voices like that kept coming up. Half a day passed quietly. As the live stream started, in New City, everyone was able to watch on their phones, or on their own New City devices, or on public screens throughout New City. At that moment, on the edge of the city wall, countless figures already stood tall. At the same time, 3 figures stood in front of everyone. These were, unmistakably, the current New City, 3 SSS level ability users. Time to act, so the beast tide won't get any closer and become harder to deal with. Ying Zhuan and the other 2 calmly eyed the approaching beast tide. The next moment, an immense wave of ability pressure radiated from Ying Zhuan. Pale blue flames completely engulfed him.
He charged straight into the sky.
Terrifying pale blue flames erupted. It seemed like they were burning the air itself. Centered on Ying Zhuan, pale blue flames blasted toward the beast tide like a small bomb explosion, sending waves of energy into the sky. Many mutant beasts were thrown aside by the blast. Countless low-level mutant beasts cried out miserably. Though the mutant beasts were large, each was at least 10 meters long. But before SS ability user Ying Zhuan, just one attack resulted in serious casualties. As expected. I knew my previous worries were unnecessary. With Lord Ying Zhuan here, why should we fear the beast tide at all? Even without Li Xiao, the Ability Association can still easily block the beast tide. Countless residents cheered excitedly. A multitude of ability users followed Ying Zhuan's lead and joined the battle. The dazzling colors of abilities almost covered the entire edge of New City at this moment. Seeing the ability users crush the beast tide like this, the residents of New City became even more excited. However, nobody noticed. Nobody realized. At the rear of the enormous beast horde, 2 beast kings were hiding. Specifically the white-winged tiger and the black giant python. It seems that Li Xiao truly has left. In the eyes of the white-winged tiger and the black giant python, a cold gleam flickered. Now, the beast horde has been at New City for a while. Normally, if Li Xiao wanted to act, he'd have intercepted them by now. But Li Xiao is still nowhere to be found. And there isn't even the slightest trace of him. They couldn't sense his presence at all. That means only one thing. Li Xiao really isn't in New City. He's gone. At least for now, Li Xiao isn't coming back. So now, is their best opportunity to act? Even if they can't destroy New City in one go, they can still inflict heavy losses. That won't be hard at all. The white-winged tiger which had been crouching at the rear of the beast tide, slowly straightened up. It's our turn to move. The black giant python slightly nodded its head. Alright, let's kill these guys today. Destroy this city. As those words fell, the black giant python prepared to soar into the sky. But just then, one of the white-winged tiger's paws blocked his way. Wait, let me go first. You wait here for a moment.
Hearing this,
The giant python's cold eyes narrowed slightly. But it soon understood the winged tiger's intent. That guy named Li Zhao is extraordinary. He possesses power far beyond the typical SS rank. If he has obtained some way to completely hide his presence, even for those of the same level, even for beast kings like them, it would be impossible to detect him. Which makes sense. Fine, I understand. The giant python's coiling form settled back down, hiding behind the beast nest. As the winged tiger nodded slightly, the next moment, its body began to expand massively,
terrifying energy fluctuations.
spread out from the winged tiger, instantly covering the entire battlefield. This is a beast king. On the faces of many ability users, expressions of horror emerged. Their gazes turned toward the white-winged tiger that appeared from the rear of the beast tide. Its massive 100-foot frame stood in the beast tide, drawing everyone's attention. At the edge of New City, 3 ability users including Ying Zhuan, who were busy killing beasts in the tide, also paused their actions due to the appearance of the white-winged tiger. At this moment, a hint of doubt appeared in their eyes. In their previous sensing, they hadn't felt the presence of any SSS-Rank beast king within this beast tide. Where did this white-winged tiger come from? But soon, the doubt in their eyes vanished. They couldn't help but look at each other, their eyes shifting to intense excitement. A beast king actually showed up? It's delivering itself to death. Since that's the case, let's grant its wish. After saying this, the 3 didn't hesitate. They shifted their focus from the low-level beasts entirely onto the white-winged tiger. Ying Zhuan, Wang Kong, and Huang Sang all released powerful energy fluctuations. When dealing with mutated beasts, they had no intention of fighting fair. The 3 instantly surrounded the winged tiger. Substantial energy glows emanated from their bodies, led by Ying Zhuan. Terrifying pale blue flames from his body instantly surged toward the winged tiger. Wang Kong and Huang Sang didn't delay either, launching their own attacks. The combined attacks of 3 SS rank ability users against anyone else, they might have been instantly killed, leaving not even a trace behind. But at this moment, the winged tiger's eyes showed a hint of disdain. It slowly raised its massive paw, and toward the trio's attacks it gave a light swat. Asterisk thud, thud, thud asterisk. 3 muffled sounds rang out, and the trio's attacks were easily swatted and detonated by the tiger. Easily swatted and detonated across the field. The entire scene instantly fell into a dead silence. Impossible! In the eyes of Ying Zhuan and the others, a look of shock emerged. They were all SS rank beings. So why could this winged tiger shatter their attacks so easily? The tiger's cold eyes had already locked onto them. The next moment it appeared behind Wang Kong, one of the 3 SS rank ability users. In an instant, a profound sense of danger surged within Wang Kong's heart. Without any hesitation, Wang Kong mobilized all his energy behind him, forming a crimson energy barrier. At the same time, the winged tiger's razor-sharp claws swiped directly toward that 10-meter thick crimson barrier. Compared to a human size, this barrier seemed incredibly massive. But one must remember, as an SSS rank beast king, the winged tiger's true size was over 100 feet. Even though the main attack was just one of its claws, the scale was already beyond imagination. Under this massive and terrifying claw, the 10-meter thick crimson barrier looked utterly insignificant, and Wang Kong, behind the barrier, appeared as tiny as an ant. The next moment, the massive claw and the crimson barrier slammed into each other. But the expected energy explosion did not occur. When the claw met the barrier, the terrifying tips of the claw had already on the crimson barrier carved several deep gouges, It had already breached the Crimson Barrier. But as an SS rank ability user, Wang Kong finally reacted at that moment. On Wang Kong's body, crimson energy finally erupted, allowing him to forcefully change his position. If his reaction had been even a bit slower, his entire body would have been sliced in half by the winged tiger's claws. Is this the kind of terrifying existence that Li Zhao used to face? They said the strength gap between SS ranks wouldn't be that large. Meanwhile, the expressions of Ying Zhuan and Huang Sang turned quite grim. But aside from the three SS level members of Yinshuan, no one else noticed at all the crisis that had just occurred. His ability, which had been stuck at SS level strength for a long time. As ordinary people, they could only see the three SS level abilities of the Abilities Association. After fighting the white-winged Tiger Beast King for a brief moment, repelling all Beast Kings, they had no idea about the danger involved. Many new city residents were still full of confusion, had completely sealed off the surrounding 100 meters. After all, I've prepared 9 for Qicheng now. The belief that 2 fists can't beat 4 hands. Though abilities users are much stronger than ordinary people. If it's abilities users of the same rank, no matter how strong one person is, they couldn't possibly defeat 2 abilities users of the same level, right? Let alone, now that there are 3 abilities users of the same rank, why aren't Master Yingshuan and the others moving? Now that a Beast King has conveniently appeared to be killed, do you want a peace too? If they attack together, this Beast King surely won't be leaving alive this time either. Master Yingshuan, quick, slay the Beast King. How admirable my determination is. Some residents shouted excitedly, seemingly wanting their voices to reach far, hoping the 3 Yingshuan members would hear. Yingshuan, what are you 3 waiting for? Come on, attack. Take down that Beast King. Meanwhile, Qin Wangshao, stationed atop the new city wall, was stunned when he saw the 3 Yingshuan members suddenly stop fighting, caught off guard for a moment, then immediately shouted loudly. By hearing this, the foreheads of the 3 Yingshuan members instantly broke into a cold sweat. Their faces no longer showed the previous confidence and composure. With his Beast King level strength, was far beyond their expectations. At this moment, the 3 of them couldn't help but remember some things. They regretted boasting about killing the Beast King. Ever thought things would end up like this? Wang Shan plotting to expel Li Zhao from the Abilities Association.
If only Li Zhao were still here.
Maybe they wouldn't have to face this Beast King at all. But now regret serves no purpose. Changjuan, have another slice. The white-winged tiger's energy fluctuations surged frantically, showing no sign of letting them escape. Locked on tightly. That was already sliced up. Likewise, the faces of the 3 Yingshuan members changed repeatedly. But they understood now. They should be able to handle Beast Kings. The 3 exchanged glances, then gritted their teeth. This Beast King is indeed strong. But we have 3. Why be scared of him? Just how valuable these power-boosting fruits were. He can't possibly be stronger than 3 abilities users of the same level. With this thought, the 3 Yingshuan members' grim expressions finally eased up a bit, their cold eyes fixed on the white-winged tiger. Hearing the white-winged tiger's mocking and taunting voice, to avenge all the humans who died at your hands. As they spoke, hurled through the air, could effortlessly help an SS level like him. The white-winged tiger's contempt in its eyes only got stronger. You think you're worthy to kill me? Bring out that human called Li Zhao. Today, the 3 of us will kill you. Maybe then there's a chance. The faces of the 3 Yingshuan members grew even darker. This white-winged tiger before them was so relaxed facing all 3 of them. But if what it says is true, the combined power of the 3 isn't even equal to Li Zhao alone. Kill Yingshuan. There was murderous intent in their eyes. They growled, their figures instantly charged toward the white-winged tiger. Those who saw the actions of the 3 Yingshuan members, whether they were abilities users on the battlefield or ordinary people in the stars, all flushed with excitement at that moment, acting extremely excited, with Master Yingshuan and the others present. Even the Beast King can't invade Star City one bit. Even without Li Zhao, Master Yingshuan, they can still keep the Beast King outside Star City. Watching the fight unfold on the live broadcast, many Star City residents laughed joyfully. Yet, at this moment, the faces of the three Yingxuan members were already drenched in sweat. Their faces were pale from their rapidly depleted abilities. On the other hand, the white-winged tiger, despite being the only Beast King fighting, always seemed totally at ease from start to finish. They were both SS level, but the white-winged tiger seemed like a completely different kind of SS level compared to Yingxuan's three members. With your pathetic strength, you dare to call yourself SS level? Right then. They were sent flying. Right then. The white-winged tiger's fierce eyes glared, and its terrifying claws rose high, sweeping fiercely toward the three Yingxuan members, had locked tightly onto the three Yingxuan members. At the same time, enveloping the three Yingxuan members, a strong sense of crisis descended. The faces of the three Yingxuan members changed dramatically. They tried to retreat, but suddenly realized, subconsciously, break through to S level. If it had been when they were at their peak, maybe if they tried every trick they could escape. But after battling the white-winged tiger for so long, most of their abilities had already been depleted. In their eyes at this moment, a look of true terror finally appeared. This feeling was just like when they weren't yet SSS level. When they were still low-level abilities users, facing a Beast King, they felt the same way. Back then, they each scattered. Li Xiao stood alone at the new city's edge. They thought that it was too late for regrets. With their current power, but reality hit them hard. Li Xiao could easily fend off 1, 2, or even more Beast King mutants at the same time. Yet now, the three of them together, in front of just one Beast King mutant, still looked so miserable. Blood mingled with terrifying energy waves, as the white-winged tiger's massive claws smashed down on the three Yingxuan members. Meanwhile, all the previously excited and cheering people in New City, their faces froze, because this time, the three Yingxuan members weren't able to withstand the white-winged tiger's attack again. The white-winged tiger's fierce level, the terrifying energy fluctuations around them appeared again. This time, under the white-winged tiger's blow, their bodies smashed right into the solid wall's edge, making the entire city wall tremble violently. A deathly silence. Then, in the eyes of everyone in New City, fear appeared thick and intense. Through the live broadcast, this tidal surge New City faced was visible not just to residents inside, but thanks to the Abilities Association's public relay. Even smaller cities could also watch this live stream. At this moment, Chen Zhuan, the guardian of Qicheng, was also watching this live stream as a guardian. Chen Zhuan, the real strength of the Beast King, was likewise one of the viewers of this live stream.
He was actually able to defeat Ying Zhuan and his team like this.
Facing 3 SS level ability users, he still managed not to fall behind. A sudden thought, Chen Zhuan thought this was already the worst possible outcome. But when the livestream screen showed, he felt a bit shaken inside. Chen Zhuan finally couldn't hide the shock in his heart anymore. Ying Zhuan and the other two being genuinely pushed back by the white-winged tiger. Even as an S-level ability user, the combined power of 3 SS level ability users still wasn't a match for a single Beast King. They were defeated head-on. This is something no one dared to imagine. Chen Zhuan's heart turned even more hopeless. He had originally thought that as long as he could become SS level in the future, he'd have the right to go head-to-head with the Beast King. Even if I had to leave Qicheng someday, Chen Zhuan alone could still protect Qicheng. But this livestream completely shattered Chen Zhuan's belief. Ordinary SS level ability users. As an SS level ability user, in this moment, watching Ying Zhuan and his team defeated and bleeding on screen, plus the ones on the city wall, who were already showing indescribable fear. When Zhang's expression grew even more complicated, he wondered if those people in the Ability Association, or maybe regretted their involvement with Qin when they drove Li Xiao away back then. Li Xiao had the power to guard New City for 5 years, and repeatedly repelled the Beast King, until New City and the Ability Association expanded to their current thriving state. But that doesn't mean ordinary SS level ability users could do the same. All that Li Xiao accomplished, Ying Zhuan and his team now are a perfect example. When they truly face a beast king, the gap between them and Li Xiao is obvious. It shouldn't be hard. It's probably too late. Could it be that Ying Zhuan and the others truly can't do anything against the beast king? After all, Li Xiao has long left the ability association. Unexpectedly popped into Chen Zhuan's mind. This time, New City is likely truly done for. Thinking of this, filled with a glowing purple fruit, an energy fluctuation emanated from his body. He stood up and vanished from where he was, heading toward my residence in Qicheng, the small courtyard I live in. At this moment, my little courtyard, Chen Zhuan's expression subtly changed, showing no sign of letting them go. I was holding a fruit tray. Chen Zhuan, why are you here? Chen Zhuan's nose couldn't help twitching, as a sweet, fragrant aroma immediately entered his nostrils, especially for the residents within the new city. Inside his body, unexpectedly started running slowly. But I didn't notice these things, and smiled as I walked toward Chen Zhuan. The items in my fruit tray were naturally the power-boosting fruits I had obtained earlier. Because if you eat all the power-boosting fruits in one day, your body's resistance will waste a lot of their effects. So I plan to eat one a day. Still not SS level? With Ying Xuan's power, Chen Zhuan arrived. Upon hearing this, Chen Zhuan couldn't help but swallow. Is that okay? Are simply no match for the Beast King. Even though he'd never seen this purple fruit before, just smelling it had such an effect. Chen Zhuan also knew how rare this thing was. This kind of heavenly treasure must be very precious for me too. It's fine, I still have plenty. Then I won't hold back.
Hearing this,
Chen Zhuan immediately picked up the smallest slice and ate it in one bite. The moment Chen Zhuan ate the fruit, he felt his abilities inside explode instantly. They began to operate frantically, centered around Chen Zhuan. Terrifying power surged outward in all directions, kicking up a strong wind. Under the effect of the power fruit, Chen Zhuan suddenly realized, in one burst, he was amazed to find
His strength
had already reached the peak of SS level. Just give him a little more time, and he could break through to SS level. It wouldn't be a problem. Thinking that he might become an SS level ability user, feeling the white-winged tiger's perceptions locking onto them, Chen Zhuan grew even more excited. Also noticed Chen Zhuan's increasing power level just after I finished slicing the fruit, but I frowned slightly. Could directly strengthen Chen Zhuan's abilities to SS level. But even if the people from the Ability Association want to regret now, but now it seems, one slice is just not enough. They still held on to. And Chen Zhuan is, aside from myself, the strongest ability user here. If anything happens in the future, I'd have to do it all myself. That would be too much trouble. The reason I let Chen Zhuan eat the power-boosting fruit just now was to boost his strength a bit. If I could actually bring Chen Zhuan's power up to SS level, even if he's only at entry SS level like those 3 guys in the Ability Association, the threshold of SS level, that's already enough. At least in the future, facing most mutated beasts, I wouldn't need to handle it myself. Chen Zhuan could take care of it on his own. The white-winged tiger's senses. I handed the fruit tray to Chen Zhuan again. Upon hearing this, Chen Zhuan's breathing became even more rapid, because he'd already eaten it once. Now Chen Zhuan truly understood, no matter how strong he is. But then he heard something else. I wasn't just offering him one, but a second slice to help him break through to SS level. 2 tiny pieces of fruit. Yet, the white-winged tiger's energy waves. Lord Li Xiao's strength is not only powerful, he's unbelievably generous with such rare treasures. Never stingy with others. It's hard to imagine the ability evil. It's truly hard to imagine those guys from the Esper Association, whether they've gone mad or what, actually driving away Lord Li Xiao. Speaking of the Esper Association, Chen Zhuan suddenly thought of the purpose for coming to find me. Lord Li Xiao, the New City Esper Association has been attacked by a beast tide. And there's even a beast king among them. Those 3 SS-class espers from the association seem to have already been defeated. Before long, New City will likely fall completely. Hearing this, not a single hint of surprise showed in my eyes. When that massive beast tide passed by Qicheng earlier, I had actually sensed within that tide the existence of a hidden beast king. But why is there only one? If I remember correctly, the number of beast kings I felt in the tide earlier should have been 2, but whether it's 1 beast king or 2, it isn't something that Ying Zhuan and those 3 SS class espers could possibly rival. Being defeated by a beast king was not outside of Li Zhao's expectations. As for whether all of New City falls, that has absolutely nothing to do with me anymore. If there's anything in all of New City that I still care about, it would be… Oh, right. Is there any news of Yizhu? Li Zhao suddenly asked. Before the beast tide reached New City, Li Zhao had entrusted Chen Zhuan to help him contact Yizhu, to tell her his current whereabouts, hoping that Yizhu would also come to Qicheng. Since a lot of time has passed by now, Yizhu should have replied long ago. Chen Zhuan shook his head. The message was sent out long ago, but Miss Yizhu hasn't replied. This was also Chen Zhuan's purpose in coming to find me. After all, from my brief words earlier, she could tell that the relationship between the two was far from ordinary. Hearing this, my eyes couldn't help but darken slightly. Meanwhile, the massive silhouette of the white-winged tiger in the city flickered and appeared right in front of Wang Kong, one of the 3 espers. A pair of giant claws descended from the heavens, slamming down fiercely toward Wang Kong. The terror of death welled up in Wang Kong's eyes. He screamed, "No, no, no! I don't want to die!" He tried to circulate the esper power in his body, to continue fleeing, but… Flee? In the previous battle, the esper power in Wang Kong's body had already been heavily depleted, with hardly any left. A faint fluctuation of esper power emerged from Wang Kong's body, but it was quickly crushed by the terrifying pressure of the white-winged tiger, and the fluctuation was completely torn apart. Asterisk, boom, asterisk. The white-winged tiger's massive claw finally slammed into the ground. Like an earthquake, a violent tremor resounded. Even the residents in New City could feel the massive shock. And this time, Wang Kong beneath the giant claw lost any chance of escape, being crushed solidly within the impact. When the white-winged tiger's claw lifted from the ground, everyone could only see that at the center of the impact, Wang Kong's figure was gone. Replacing it was a flattened mass on the ground, a bloody, mangled corpse. It couldn't even be called a corpse anymore. It was more like a pile of meat paste. Crimson blood, centered around that mangled mass of flesh, flowed outward. The SS class esper Wang Kong is dead. Utterly dead. No hope of survival. To the side, the bodies of Ying Xuan and Huang Sang were already trembling with terror. Compared to the death of an ordinary person, seeing a fellow SS class esper like Wang Kong die like this before them brought them a mental shock that was incredibly massive. High up on the walls of New City, Qin Wangshao's previously excited expression froze completely the moment Wang Kong died. At this moment, Qin Wangshao only felt his mind go blank. The 3 SS class espers he had such high hopes for, now facing just a single beast king, appeared so powerless, far from killing or repelling the Beast King. Instead, in a very short time, one of them was killed by the Beast King instead. Wasn't it said that among SSS class espers, the strength gap wouldn't be very large? Then why are there 3 SSS class espers? Actually no match for a single Beast King? An earth-shattering tiger roar suddenly resounded in everyone's ears, accompanying the white-winged tiger's wild roar. The beast tide that had quieted down erupted into a riot once again. Terrifying roars from the beasts sounded from the tide, ringing out, layering upon each other, daunting everyone's souls.
Next.
Seemingly because the death of an SS class esper had stimulated all the beasts. Every beast outside New City seemed to fall into a total frenzy, charging toward New City. But this time, facing the attack of the beast tide, no esper dared to choose a direct confrontation. The live broadcast feed began to shake violently, becoming blurry and indistinct. Asterisk, rumble, rumble, asterisk. The sound of trembling suddenly reached the ears of New City's residents. But this time, the sound didn't come from the live broadcast. Inside New City, everyone's gaze turned toward the distant city walls, only to see the solid walls that once stood tall, cracking with numerous fissures, before the entire section of the wall shattered. In an instant, All of New City seemed to be caught in a minor earthquake. Many residents scrambled to hold on to anything around them that could serve as a railing. But right now, the earthquake beneath their feet wasn't their primary concern. They looked at the wall on the edge of New City. The wall built when the beasts first arrived, which had stood for 5 years, and had never been breached.
Now,
That wall had completely collapsed. SS-class Esper Wongkong is dead. The Espers are utterly defeated. The beast tide has truly invaded the city. The shattered wall further proved that everything they had seen before was the absolute truth. An atmosphere of panic instantly spread among the residents of New City. They no longer had the confidence they once had in Yingzhuan and the other 2 SS classes. Replacing it was intense horror. Damn it. Didn't they say even if a Beast King really came, it wouldn't be a match for Lord Yingzhuan and the others? So why did a Beast King actually show up? But the ending wasn't at all like what they said at the beginning. A Beast King was supposed to be easily slain at the hands of Yingzhuan and the 3 Espers. Slain? Everything is reversed. Even with Yingzhuan and the 3 SS-class Espers joining forces, they couldn't even beat a single Beast King, and one of them was even killed in return. If this were a game, they'd probably be flamed with taunts of, "Do you even know how to play?" But right now, this is reality. A massive wave of mutant beasts has already broken through the ability users' defenses and rushed into the New City. The terrifying roars are no longer just coming through the live broadcast.
Instead,
They're directly echoing in every New City resident's ears, causing everyone to tremble in body and mind. Countless skyscrapers along the way collapsed under the beast's onslaught. The entire interior of New City has fallen into utter chaos at this moment. Those bastards from the Ability Association, didn't they already promise they could easily deal with the beasts? Why is this still happening? Those useless ability users shouldn't have been trusted. Ooh, who's going to save us? The sounds of crying, shouting, and cursing echoed nonstop. But soon the people making those noises will disappear under the beast's stampede. In a certain area of New City, a streak of pale blue ability suddenly flashed by, bringing a powerful surge of energy. 2 gigantic beasts, stomping toward the New City residents, collapsed with a thud. They lost all signs of life. A beautiful-faced, slender girl, wearing a blue dress, appeared. At this moment, Yixu's expression was incredibly heavy. If Li Zhao were still here in New City, I bet none of this would be happening. Yixu's beautiful eyes blinked, showing a complex expression. Back then, when Li Zhao was forced to leave the Ability Association, the whole New City, no matter the people of the association or the New City residents, how many were willing to speak up for Li Zhao? Even that day, because Yixu stood up for Li Zhao. Afterwards, she faced a lot of targeting by the association and was insulted by New City residents. In Yixu's eyes, a bit of exhaustion flashed by. For some reason, Yixu felt tired when thinking of Li Zhao. For some reason, Yixu's longing for Li Zhao was stronger than ever. But since Li Zhao left that day, she lost all trace of him. Once this disaster is over, I'll leave the association and go look for him too. Yixu thought silently. But just then, help! A terrified voice echoed nearby again. Yixu looked in that direction. A mutant beast at least 10 meters tall, looking just like a rhinoceros, was charging at a middle-aged man in his 40s. This man was just an ordinary civilian. Faced with the beast's attack, his odds of surviving were pretty much 0. Around Yixu, the pale blue energy surged again, heading straight for the rhino beast. But this time, Yixu's attack hit the rhino beast, but didn't kill it outright. Instead, the rhino beast's body suddenly shuddered. From its body, a terrifying surge of energy erupted. This rhino beast was actually a hidden SS-level mutant. At the same time, the rhino beast gave up on the middle-aged man and turned around, locking its gaze tightly on Yixu. Feeling the beast's focus, Yixu's beautiful face stayed calm. She prepared to fight. But the next moment, her heart suddenly trembled. Yixu suddenly realized, while the rhino beast was targeting her from several directions around her, there were several SS-level mutant beasts who also locked onto her at the same time. With Yixu's strength, If it were just one or two beasts, maybe she could handle them. But all six at once. Unless Yixu herself was a SS level ability user. Otherwise, even her own safety couldn't be guaranteed. A sudden roar, the rhino beast that had locked onto Yixu, let out a furious howl. Around the rhino beast, a terrifying wave of energy erupted. With its powers, the beast's skin seemed to become even tougher, turning a silvery black color. Along the path, the rhino beast easily smashed every building in its way with its own body. Yixu's gaze flashed. Her pale blue energy spread out, rippling like water waves. Each ripple started from Yixu's fair palms and spread wide, creating a barrier between her and the rhino beast. The next moment, the rhino beast slammed into the watery ripples. Strangely enough, the ripples seemed fragile like water, but actually kept the rhino beast firmly on the outside. But Yixu's beautiful face showed not a hint of joy. Instead, her expression grew darker as the rhino beast attacked her from several other directions. Several towering beasts also rushed toward Yixu as S-level mutants. Their intelligence had already surpassed most humans. The SS-level beasts working together left Yixu with no room to escape. Damn, Yixu's face turned grim. Not far from Yixu, there weren't only mutant beasts, but also several people like her. Other ability users trying to rescue New City residents. However, these people were even weaker than Yixu. The strongest were just two S-level ability users. Against these cis-level beasts, they didn't stand a chance. But for Yixu, if she fought these beasts head-on, even as an SS level, she'd probably suffer a serious injury, then forget about rescuing people in the city. She might not even survive herself. It would be a real problem. A hint of unwillingness appeared in Yixu's eyes. She hadn't managed to find Li Zhao yet. How could she just die here so easily? Thinking this, a hint of determination flashed in Yixu's eyes. She seemed about to make a move. But right then, an overwhelming and strangely familiar ability pressure suddenly appeared from beyond the stars. That powerful energy descended into the city at a terrifying speed. And immediately after, those S-level beasts already near Yixu all showed panic in their eyes. Their bodies instantly froze in place. The next moment, bang, bang, bam, bam, bam! The bodies of those few SS-level exotic beasts suddenly began to swell without any hesitation, and then exploded abruptly. Dozens of meters-tall massive bodies burst apart, spattering the area within hundreds of meters with bright red blood. What just happened? In that instant, the ability users beside Yixu were all utterly stunned. Their minds went completely blank, taking down SS-level exotic beasts with ease, and making several of them explode at once. How is that even possible? A powerful ability user, but even someone like Yingshuan, an SS-level user, couldn't possibly do this, right? After all, SS-level beasts aren't exactly common. They can still hold out against an SS-level user for a while. That's to be expected. But right now, feeling that familiar, overwhelming power, the corners of Yixu's lips curved up into a stunningly beautiful smile. She gazed up into the sky outside Star City, only to see a tiny black dot in the distance, coming straight towards New City. But what Yixu didn't know was, as that black dot got bigger and bigger, outside New City, the eyes of two gigantic figures suddenly snapped open. These were none other than the white flame tiger and the still hidden black giant python, their eyes fixed on that black dot, which was now close enough for them to see the humanoid shape more clearly. And as the powerful aura approached closer and closer, white flame tiger and black giant python, the two beast kings, had expressions of extreme gravity in their eyes. That look on their faces was something even the white flame tiger never showed when facing 3SS level users alone. Not even once. This presence was far above someone like Yingshuan, a beginner SS level user. Impossible to compare? Among all the humans in the world with such power, only one came to mind for the two beast kings, Li Zhao Hao. Just as I got closer and closer to New City, countless distinct howls from exotic beasts all rang out at once, but without exception. Among all those beastly cries, there was only anxiety and unease. The beasts who weren't strong enough, the ones who had not reached Beast King level, also felt the presence of an incredibly terrifying being descending upon them. In an instant, the exotic beasts rampaging through New City all shrank back in terror, pressing low to the ground, too scared to make a move, only whimpering quietly, and all just because of one person who hasn't even arrived yet. The entire beast nest was stunned into this state. Upon noticing the sudden change in these beasts within New City, including Qin Wangshao and the still alive Ying Xuan, and the two SSS levels, Huang Sang, everyone was left in shock. None of them knew what was going on. Afterward, a thunderous tiger roar from the white flame tiger shook the sky. Within the roar, the Beast King's oppressive force spread everywhere. Those terrified, cowering beasts finally regained some movement and gradually settled down again. Not long after, my figure appeared at the edge of New City again, and in front of me, the huge body of the white flame tiger stood blocking my way, facing me from a distance. The terrifying aura of the Beast King was clashing with my own psychic pressure, but after just a short while, the fierce look in the white flame tiger's eyes changed. After just a few breaths, its Beast King aura was already becoming significantly weaker in front of me. It was clearly losing ground, sensing how tough it was for the white flame tiger right now to withstand my psychic pressure. Hiss. A hissing sound from a giant snake flicking its tongue rang out. At the very end of the tide, the figure of a black giant python also began to swell abruptly, from dozens of meters long, suddenly stretching into several hundred meters of winding body. On the black giant python's body, another overwhelming Beast King aura spread out, teaming up with the white flame tiger to resist my psychic pressure together. But unfortunately, even the black giant python, which revealed itself from the beast tide, unleashing its own overwhelming power, was still no match for me as I neared New City. The two Beast Kings' pressure was still at a disadvantage. I recalled the last time they fought Li Zhao. My own psychic pressure seemed far less terrifying. Has this guy really gotten even stronger? As they thought this, the two Beast Kings looked at me, unable to suppress their wariness. Also SS level ability users. The three SS levels like Ying Xuan couldn't even beat White Flame Tiger one-on-one, but against me, in our previous encounters, even the two of them working together couldn't guarantee an advantage over me. That's the brutal difference. Unbeknownst to me, what was on the minds of White Flame Tiger and Black Giant Python, what the two Beast Kings were thinking. I didn't return to New City this time, because of the Beast Tide, the New City Ability Association. Once thought I was useless to them, and could just be kicked out, so of course I wouldn't come back. No need to beg to be where I'm not wanted. It was relaxing to stay in Qicheng. Living out my daily tasks there was perfect. The ability users there were way more pleasant to talk to. Whenever I made a simple request, there were always a bunch of ability users fighting over the chance to help me. Just recently, when I mentioned I wanted to renovate my small yard, all of a sudden, a mountain of ability users delivered all sorts of materials to my door. It almost felt embarrassing. I only came back to New City because of the recent Beast Tide. During a live stream from Chongjuan, I learned that the Beast Tide broke through New City's defenses, and Yixu, someone close to me, was still inside. Other than that, whether anyone else lives or dies has nothing to do with me anymore. From outside New City, my eyes looked off into a certain direction in the city. There stood a graceful figure, a girl in a blue dress. It was Yixu. Earlier, even from far away, I saw several SS-level beasts trying to surround and attack Yixu. Luckily, at that time, they were already within my attack range. I breathed a slight sigh of relief. Since Yixu was fine, it meant I wasn't too late coming back. But right then, Li Zhao, you're back just in time. Hurry up and drive off these two Beast Kings. A commanding voice rang out from within New City. I glanced in the direction of the voice and looked over. Just one glance, and my brows furrowed. I couldn't be more familiar with the speaker. It was Qin Wangshao. At this moment, Qin Wangshao looked utterly disheveled. And by Qin Wangshao's side, there were still quite a few espers from the Esper Association standing there. Among them, Yingshuan and Wang Sang, both SS level espers, were also in the group. But at this moment, everyone's faces looked very unpleasant. During the previous beast surge, they had clearly also suffered quite a blow, especially Yingshuan and Huang Sang. On their faces, there was no trace left of the pride that belonged to ESS levels. In their fight with the white-winged tiger, they both realized just how weak they really were. They both looked kind of dazed. Clearly, they hadn't recovered from the shock. And Qin Wangshao, who stood at the forefront among the espers, also noticed me. He turned his gaze toward me. Li Zhao, hurry and drive off those two beast kings. As long as you drive away those two beast kings, any mistakes you made in the Esper Association before, we can all write off in one stroke. By then, I'll arrange for you to rejoin the Esper Association. The association's benefits, status, and everything you had before will all be given back to you. Qin Wangshao shouted at me. As soon as he finished speaking, a smile even appeared on Qin Wangshao's face. In Qin Wangshao's eyes, since I came back at a time like this, it must mean I don't want the new city to be destroyed by the beast tide. As long as he made my return to the Esper Association the offer, I would have no reason to refuse. But unfortunately, after hearing Qin Wangshao's words, I just stood there. There was a strange look in my eyes. I just stared at Qin Wangshao like that, as if I was genuinely curious. I really wanted to ask, from the very beginning, when have I ever cared at all about being a member of the Esper Association? When did I ever show I cared about it? Defeating these two beast kings, and getting my Esper Association membership back. This membership status as an association member. When did it ever get so precious? How is it worth the price of driving off two beast kings? I couldn't help but almost laugh for a moment. The way I looked at Qin Wangshao was like I was looking at an idiot. How on earth did this guy manage to come up with this offer and say it with a straight face? Back then, because of the Esper Association, they cultivated their own SS level Esper and kicked out their own SS level Esper. He was the one who drove me out of the association. Now that they've realized, facing a real beast king, even SS level Espers aren't an actual match. They suddenly want me back. Where are things ever that easy? Besides, it took me forever to finally get away from those exhausting daily duties of guarding the beasts. And now I have a good life in Qi City. What kind of idiot would want to rejoin the Esper Association? At this point, I didn't even have the slightest interest in talking to Qin Wangshao. I just turned around and headed toward the direction of the medical facility in the new city. But what I didn't know was Qin Wangshao's words were also being broadcast throughout the new city, in real time via the live streaming equipment set up there. During the previous beast surge attack, many of the streaming devices had been destroyed, but plenty of them were still running. Those new city residents who were suffering through the beast attack brightened up the moment they heard Qin Wangshao's words. Their eyes instantly lit up, and they looked toward the damaged streaming screens. Li Zhao is Li Zhao. That criminal actually came back. I knew that guy had nowhere else to go. He had to come back to the new city in the end. I remember Li Zhao was able to drive off beast kings before. Now that's he's back. He must also know about the beast attack on the city. But I think if we just let him drive off this one beast tide, and then give him back his Esper Association membership, that's way too easy on him. Yeah, at the very least, Li Zhao should defend the city for over a year, after fending off this beast attack, and then have all the residents of the new city vote again, before he's allowed to rejoin the association. Even if he manages to suppress and drive off this beast tide, we absolutely can't let Li Zhao rejoin the association so easily. If Li Zhao hadn't left in a huff this time, how could it be possible for the city to have suffered such huge losses? Afterward, we'll definitely send him to trial again. Give the dead an answer. In the life and death crisis caused by the monsters, some people poured all their previously felt negativity onto me. Once again, I was tagged with baseless crimes. Once again, they were heaping groundless accusations on me. But at that moment, it was as if they realized something. The voices of these new city residents who were discussing suddenly stopped abruptly, because right then, everyone saw on the live stream the same scene. I didn't pay attention to anything anybody said at all. Not even to Chen Wangxiao. I just shot off into the stars on my own. For an instant, everyone just felt like an invisible hand was choking them. Just a moment ago, they were weighing what punishment to give me after I caved in and came back. And when the beast surge ended, what kind of punishment they should give me. Whether it was permanent Esper power removal, locking me in the Esper maximum security prison, or a series of other punishments, before letting people vote to allow Li Zhao back into the association. But in the end, I didn't even care the slightest about what they thought. On the other side, Qin Wangxiao's smile immediately stiffened. He stared blankly, watching me head off into the stars, also not understanding what I was doing. By the time Qin Wangxiao finally reacted, in the blink of an eye, I had already disappeared from his view, somewhere in the new city. Around Yizhu, the buildings that used to be there had now become nothing but ruins. With those massive beasts rampaging, nothing in their path was spared.
Only.
Those level mutant beasts that tried to surround Yizhu just now had already disappeared. In their place was blood and flesh covering the ground for hundreds of meters around. That was caused by the explosive self-destruction of the SS-level beasts just before. So much blood it basically dyed the whole area red. And Yizhu was right in the middle of it. Luckily, with Yizhu's strength, when those SS-level beasts' bodies exploded, she'd already put up a shield around herself in advance, blocking the chunks of beast flesh from sticking to her. As for what just happened with the beasts near her, about the self-destruction incident of the mutant beasts, although the person responsible for all this hasn't appeared yet, Yizhu still knows. In this world, there is only one person who can, across vast distances, easily crush several SS-level mutant beasts with such powers. Only one person could accomplish this. Meanwhile, a young figure suddenly appeared in front of Yizhu. When Yizhu saw the young figure before her, stars involuntarily sparkled in her eyes. That young figure was naturally me. Yizhu hadn't expected she hadn't come looking for me yet. Instead, I had proactively returned to New City and found her. It was because he knew New City had suffered the tide, so he returned worried she might be in danger. Thinking about this, for some reason, Yizhu felt her heart beating even more intensely. A slight blush unconsciously appeared on her face. Zhao Zhu, those mutant beasts didn't hurt you, did they? I looked Yizhu up and down. Yizhu's body still showed disorderly fluctuations of her powers, traces of the battle she had just been through. Earlier, his sensory range had only covered Star City, and happened to discover Yizhu was about to be encircled by several S-level mutant beasts. So he intervened, and instantly wiped out those S-level mutant beasts. As for whether Yizhu had encountered danger earlier, even I didn't know. But in response, Yizhu shook her head, indicating everything was fine. Seeing this, I was relieved. He swept his gaze around the area. Within his line of sight, there were still plenty of traces left by mutant beasts, including several S-level and even SS-level mutant beasts. But this time, as my gaze swept over, all those beasts caught in my sight, without exception, were trembling and prostrated on the ground in terror, letting out low whimpers, not daring to move at all before me. Soft whimpering noises, not daring to move before me. All those mutant beasts felt a terrifying pressure only experienced from the Beast King, a pressure they had only ever felt from the Beast King. It seemed just a thought from me, and I could easily wipe them out. I snorted coldly, and withdrew my gaze from those beasts.
His only purpose for coming here
Was to take Yizhu away. Unless these mutant beasts provoked him, he had no interest in killing them one by one. Zhao Zhu, I'm living in Qi City now. Are you willing to leave with me? I looked at Yizhu and asked. Hearing Li Zhao's question, Yizhu showed no hesitation, and nodded immediately. Back when I was judged that day, because he stood up for me, Yizhu also faced a lot of pressure from the Ability Association, and from within New City itself. If she hadn't been an SS-level powerhouse herself, others wouldn't have dared do anything. Maybe her situation would have been much worse. At that time, Yizhu had already thought about leaving to find me. But the tide disrupted her plans this time. The tide's arrival messed up Yizhu's plans. After the tide invaded the city, Yizhu didn't just stand by. This time during the tide, she killed lots of mutant beasts. and saved quite a few new city residents. All in all, she had done enough for the ability association already. I'm willing, Yizu said. All right, let's go then. I nodded and grabbed Yizu's hand, with her little hand held by mine. Yizu's cheeks blushed again, but she didn't resist. Under Li Zhao's powers, the two flew upward towards the sky. Back in New City, many New City residents witnessing this scene were utterly stunned. Why is Li Zhao leaving? Didn't he promise to come back and help New City and suppress the mutant beasts? But the mutant beast problem isn't solved yet. Li Zhao, you can't leave. All at once, originally they'd planned to wait until I resolved the tide. Then blame me for being late this time, which led to damage to New City. The residents instantly started to panic. Li Zhao looks like he really doesn't plan to handle the tide this time. Could it be he didn't come back to rejoin the association as some kind of redemption? On the other side, watching me soar into the sky, Qin Wangshao's expression turned gloomy. With Yizu, I picked up speed. In just a moment, we'd be leaving Star City's boundaries. Meanwhile, those mutant beasts, who had been trembling on the ground because I arrived, now seeing me leave, their eyes once again showed ferociousness. Perhaps due to the intense terror they had just felt from me. They had just endured the utmost fear from me. These mutant beasts began letting out terrifying roars, continually echoing across the stars, deafening. At that moment, sensing the beasts starting to riot again, Qin Wangshao couldn't take it anymore. He shouted, Li Zhao, if you dare leave now, no matter what happens from now on, our ability association will never let you become a member again. Up in the sky, I slowed down and stopped. Qin Wangshao couldn't help but show some joy, thinking his threat had worked. But actually, after hearing Qin Zhong Guangshao's words, this time I genuinely found it funny. Does this guy have no other tricks? Still trying to threaten me with joining the ability association? I couldn't help laughing. Hey, President Qin, I think you've forgotten something. I haven't been an association member for a long time. Your threat is meaningless for me. As soon as I finished speaking, ignoring Qin Wangshao's extremely ugly expression, I turned and continued flying out of New City. Li Zhao, get back here. Qin Wangshao's furious voice echoed. But up in the sky, as I continued to fly away from New City, I really didn't pay attention to Qin Wangshao's expression anymore. It was terrifyingly grim, full of anger. The last time he felt this way was when I stood before everyone and announced I was leaving the Ability Association. And this time, before Qin Wangshao's anger could grow further, Star City trembled violently again. The terrifying roaring of mutant beasts echoed once more. Now that I've left, those mutant beasts, oppressed by my power, no longer feared to act and started moving again.
They
Rampaged through New City unchecked. No, don't kill me. I really don't want to die. Help, somebody please save me. Countless terrified and desperate cries rang out, faced with the terrifying tide. Ordinary residents of New City were no different from ants. They could only wait for death in terror and despair. I just watched with a blank expression, observing the scenes of despair below. His mood showed no ripple, nor any intention to rescue them. Once people make their decisions, they must accept the consequences. Since they once thought I neglected my duty, believing it was his fault that New City suffered casualties. Now that I've quit the Ability Association, any consequences should be theirs to bear, and everything happening in New City was being recorded by the few remaining live stream devices and broadcast to other cities.